Greetings comrades, Soviet Gaming here. Today we will be talking about Soda Dungeon 2, and today we'll talk about Endgame Carpenter team. I'll explain you how it works, which characters you have to use, which scripts to use, which equipment, how, what, when, why and everything. So stay tuned if you wanna use those guys. The current state of the game Carpenters is one of two main options that are available for endgame playthrough at late warrior dimensions, and the second one is dark mages, but it's way more suitable for the later stages like 100k plus. Right now I'm about at 20k, so it's not that far. Alright, so let's start with the team that we want to use. First of all, we need Mr. Dark Lord, then we need one thief, then we need several carpenters, well actually 4 of them. And there we go, our perfect team is ready. What do we have over here? For the upgrades we have everything but the ads. I haven't collected that gold yet, but I will say you guys that this tab select is really useful to make your team easier to assemble. You don't need to refresh it that often. And of course magic luck, this is really important to improve your floors per second, and if you want to buy something expensive, start with this thing. It's really useful. When you get this team, first thing you want to do is to put the Dark Lord on the last spot and put the Thief on the first spot. This way all the scripts I will showcase to you will work properly. Now as for equipment, I don't have everything available for me yet. I prefer to run farming setup mostly because I don't see a point pushing if you can get as much stuff as possible, at least at those stages. Maybe later on it will be more important. So yeah, everyone have golden armor. Thief have Staff of Greed for additional gold find. Everyone is using those cosmic shields level 10. They will increase your essence find. That will allow you to have more enemies with essences. For the weapon you might go with a gold find for everyone, but I personally don't like that, so I prefer to have the highest damage setups. And the highest damage weapon right now is Soul Guardian. It have really crazy damage, it have the gem slot to boost the damage even further, and overall it's a pretty cool thing. Another option is a Keybringer, but it only gives you additional chance to get the dungeon keys, which honestly aren't really a problem. I will actually talk about it when we'll be starting the run. So yeah, I would strongly suggest going either for the gold find or the damage or whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. What matters though is using the proper gems. For the thief, I have the space gem equipped because right now I'm running without the mystic, as you can guess, and my mana pool isn't that huge. Sometimes thief is running out of mana, so that thing will help thief to get way more mana and do that ransack every time. For the rest of the guys, we are equipping that, the red gem, because it increases attack. We have pearl gem, we have a lot of different stuff, but it seems that red gem is better because it increases attack, and those things are being scaled from attack. So basically 5% attack increase will give you higher overall damage increase in the end, and it will increase that value over here. For the accessories, we use essence magnets on everyone, and for the Dark Lord, we have one of those back protectors. It will increase its HP and prevents backstab, so we need to make sure that Dark Lord will survive ambushes and he won't be one-shotted. You might want to replace the essence magnets for the silver necklaces. That will give him additional damage reduction. Specifically now, when we have the item find fixed, it will be quite a good secondary option if you don't want to use essence magnets and you want to make sure that he won't die that easily. But so far I don't have any serious issues, so I'll be using the magnets for more essence gain. Oh yeah, one more thing about team composition. I'm using my weakest carpenter in the second spot, because usually one of the enemies will have the essence and he will be ransacked by the thief, and thief will do additional damage to the first target. That way the weakest carpenter will do damage on the weakest enemy right now, because, well, thief did some damage and they will have lower health. That will allow you to push further than with the strongest carpenter in the first spot. You will see how it works when we'll go to the fight. As for the relics, guys, since I'm focusing on physical build right now, I'm using attack, health, physical attack, essence find is maxed. Well, basically most of the relics that are useful are maxed, criticals totally useless. I increased my mana a little bit so our guys won't run out of mana, and most importantly, we really need to max out Relic of Resistance, because Status resist, like fire, poison, those are the things that will kill you. Those are the things that will end your run most likely. Why, I'll explain a bit later. So yeah, you want to max this one out. If you don't have your Dark Lord at the maximum, max out this one. Most likely it's maxed out for you anyway. And work on your Relic of Dungeon keys a little bit, up to the point where you have more keys than you're wasting. And of course the class relics, we have 400 level of the Carpenter and Dark Lord relic and 200 for the Thief. Thief just need to survive, so we don't really need his damage, so we'll focus on the Carpenter and the Dark Lord. Maybe prioritize the Dark Lord a little bit so he won't be one-shotted and do a lot of damage. For the pet we use a fairy, that's an easy option to go for. And for the scripts, basically I'm using the Warrior's Dimension scripts that I did before. Carpenter script is pretty easy. If enemy isn't ore, you nailed it. And that's pretty simple script, right? We nail everything down. For the Thief, we have enemy have essence ransack. Enemy isn't normal, strongest single target attack, that's totally not necessary to be honest. So you can go with has essence ransack and enemy weakest defend. So Thief will only ransack the strongest enemy and defend if, well, they don't have essence. For the Dark Lord, it's a little bit more sophisticated, so if enemy team alive is more than 2, use strongest group attack. Why 2? Because we have 4 Carpenters. If there are 2 enemies, each Carpenter have to kill an enemy in 2 shots. So basically, in order to go as far as possible and to conserve as much mana from the Dark Lord as possible and don't waste time because his AoE attack is really taking a lot of time, we decided to go for 2. This way, if there are 3 enemies, he will lower the overall health by using the skill. If there are 2 of them, Carpenters will do 2 hits each, and most likely that will kill everyone, so it won't be needed. And the second one, if enemy is any defend, that's basically it. So all Dark Lord does is attacking the groups of enemies. If there are 2 or less enemies, he's defending and trying to survive because we don't want him to die. I'm not really sure why I have those lines over here, so let's just remove them. That is totally weird and unnecessary. Yeah, that will be it. Enemy weakest defense. So scripts are extremely easy to focus, extremely easy to do. Yeah, you might want to add that line, enemy have essence defend, and put it on the first spot, because that will allow you not to attack the guys who have essence. But it's extremely risky because in this case, Dark Lord will skip 1 turn, and if there are 4 enemies and one of those have essence and your Carpenters can't one-shot them, well, you are in trouble, so I strongly don't recommend it. Let's delete it, let's keep going like this. Most likely, your Dark Lord won't one-shot the enemies, so you will still get the ransack essence and you should be good. Let's keep this script operational. Now let's take a look at the settings of the warp. Basically the key settings, I've put my fairy to 100%, you can put it to 90, it doesn't really matter that much. I like to be safe, I like my guys to be at the full health, so I decided to go with 100%. Right now with my setup, I'm never running out of keys, I'm stocking them up and it's not a problem. So with those setups, with those settings, you should be okay. If you're running out of keys, lower it to 90%, up to you, but yeah, I'll go with this one, it works for me right now. Add gold boost on for the runs, since it's for the video's sake, I'll turn it off. And yeah, basically that's it, start at the latest stage available, let's go. Alright, let's put it on auto and I'll tell you how it works. So as you can see, my guys are doing 18k damage with the spike, this one is doing 19k. We got the healing fairy straight away, oh my god, that's not supposed to happen, guys. That's not supposed to happen. So usually you have extra keys. They will come in time. So yeah, the idea is Dark Lord is weakening everyone's health. So even if the enemy's health is way above your Carpenter's damage, they will still be able to kill them. And I think this setup, without any upgrades, will be able to push at least 10k more levels. That's not that hard. That's working pretty well. And when you go to the limit, when you go to the area where the enemies have a lot of health, and yes, just what you saw right there, and the Thief actually did the ransack on the first enemy, and then the weakest Carpenter used his skill on that enemy. That allows you to basically optimize your damage, so it will spread more evenly and will kill everyone way easier. It's not that important to be honest, but that's how it is. What you saw just a second ago, that our guys was supposed to be one-shotted. My thief almost got killed there, it have 1 health, and as long as your Dark Lord is alive, you won't die to those ambushes. So even if your guys have 1 health, well, I don't know, 2 health, and you will get ambushed, and the enemy will attack the target that have 2 health and will try to kill him, Dark Lord will protect him. Now, there is 1 or actually 2 issues with that. First of all, there are enemies that are doing burn and poison damage. Those guys, when they get that negative debuff on your guy and he's really low health, that's usually what happens at the later dimensions, they hit him really hard. That poison or burn will kill your character over time, because you have very low regen, it's 100 HP per tick, and those debuffs are doing way more, so the character who got that will most likely die, and there is nothing you can do about that. Unluckily, Dark Lord doesn't protect from the debuff damage, I don't know why. So this is the first reason why you can wipe. If you get ambushed by the enemies that are doing the burn damage, like this fire muffin thingy, panna cotta, I don't know how it's called, I'll call it panna cotta. So yeah, this is the first reason of your interrupted runs, basically. That's why you can do the overnight runs with this setup right now safely. There is a chance that you will fail. The second option is when you get ambushed by the enemies that are doing dual attacks. Basically, those are the guys that can hit 2 of your characters at the same time with 1 attack. So if you get that ambush, and after that you get another of the same ambushes, and some of the attacks will attack the same injured character who is about to die twice. Yeah, there are a lot of ifs. But it's possible. Over time, everything is possible. So yeah, if those dual attacks will do damage 2 times to your most injured guys, one of those will die, because your Dark Lord can protect only one of those guys. And this is the second reason why your guys can die. So I was thinking about this for a while, and I haven't really found a way how to totally avoid it. Yes, you can equip damage resistance gear. Yes, you can try to increase your health, but over time that will still happen. Sooner or later, without the medics, without the nurses, it will happen. And in this team you don't have a spot for the nurse, other than you will drop the thief. That's not a good idea in my opinion. Moreover, if there will be 1 nurse, she can still be one-shotted by the enemies the same way. So yeah, it doesn't work like that. The only option that we have to make a team that is viable, that can last hours and hours, are Dark Mages. And that is because in the Dark Mage team, eventually you will have only 2 Dark Mages, 2 nurses, 1 thief and 1 Dark Lord. That way the nurses can heal all the damage that's coming in, and that will allow you to go forward for, well, infinite amount of time. But yeah, even with the Carpenter setup that we have right now, it's really possible to go really far. You just gotta take a look at your screen of this PC, phone, tablet, whatever, from time to time, so you will see if you guys are in that. If they failed, if they got defeated, you just restart it and go over again, it's not a problem, you can push really far. And actually chances of that happening are really low. You should have the ambush that will have the enemy in the first spot who will do that poison or burn damage, and they are supposed to hit the target, and they are supposed to apply the debuff. You see, there are a lot of chances in that. So yeah, there is still quite a lot you can do with this setup, no problem. And yeah guys, let me know in the comments what Carpenter team do you use yourself when you go for the physical build, and which is your favorite team. While you go into the comments, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure to hit that bell button and turn notification to all, otherwise you might miss something. Also, you might want to check the playlist down there in the pinned comment and in the description where all the links are. Most likely you saw all the videos on Soda Dungeon 2. Most likely you won't find anything new, but maybe you'll find something, I don't know. Also, there are links for my website where you have the written articles. You have links for the Discord where people are talking about everything, and we have dedicated Soda Dungeon 2 channels, so you might want to be there, I'm pretty sure about that. And there is a link to the Twitch channel where I play pretty sophisticated PC games. You would like to be part of that as well, cause sometimes it's pretty hilarious. And other than that, there are social links over there in the comment and everywhere, and over here as well, so please follow all of that if you can. I'll be really grateful. I'm not really active there though. Maybe I will one day, and you will see a lot of stuff. That's about it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Soviet out. До свидания.